This is ABC-7 Extra.
Welcome into ABC-7 Extra. Good evening. I'm Mauricio Casillas, filling in for Saul Sainz. For the next half hour, we'll be discussing Hispanic Heritage Month and El Paso's place on the national stage. So let's start with the basics. According to the latest U.S. Census report, more than 60 million people identify as Hispanic or Latino, making them the second largest ethnic group in the United States. What's the history behind Hispanic Heritage Month? Well, it all actually began in 1968 under President Lyndon B. Johnson as Hispanic Heritage Week. Then 20 years later, President Ronald Reagan expanded the week to a month.
We're not just here to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Week, but to announce that in 1989, the period between September 15th and October 15th will be Hispanic Heritage Month.
And the start date of Hispanic Heritage Month, September 15th, is significant because it's the independence anniversary for many Latin American countries. Entering its fourth decade as a celebration, Hispanic Heritage Month marks the countless ways that Hispanics have come to build the country that we live in today. I'm joined now by ABC News correspondent John Quiñones. His career spans multiple decades, and he's been a major influence on generations of Hispanic journalists, including myself. John, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. We really do.
Thank you, Mauricio. It's good to be with you.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to start off by asking you about your latest story, which focuses on El Paso, part of ABC News' Soul of a Nation program, celebrating Hispanic culture. Why did you feel it was so important to tell our story, the story of El Pasoans?
I think it represents Hispanic America. No other city in the country, I think, is so enmeshed with the beautiful Latino culture, blending in with the Texan and all-American culture, where people think in Spanish and think in English and speak both. I think that is the new face of America, El Paso. And not only just that city, but its close kinship with its sister city of Juarez and Las Cruces, and that whole region. It's almost international, and we were inspired by our visit there, by the wonderful people of El Paso, and I just wanted America to see what your beautiful city is all about.
Now, you've been around the globe. You've told stories in multiple cities, multiple countries. From your perspective, what is it that sets El Paso apart?
I think it's that combination of history and culture. And Mexican and Texan and American, and it's just a beautiful mix. It's kind of like what we are as Latinos, many of us. I am Spanish. The Quiñoneses were from Spain, but the Garcias, my mother's side, were very Indian. That's why I'm dark, but I'm tall because I'm Spanish. I think that's what El Paso makes it so special. And then just the proximity to the border, and then of course how how it's rebounded from this awful tragedy at the Walmart more than 2 years ago now. What a beautiful example that is of love and forgiveness and strength. That, I think, is what makes El Paso so unique and such a beautiful example of what America really should be all about.
I think when you tell the story of El Paso, unfortunately, you do have to recognize, you have to mention that this was an attack on Hispanics. It was an attack on people targeted because they're brown, because they're Mexican. So coming back to the city now, 2 years removed from that, what do you see? What sort of resiliency do you see?
You know, we went up to Mount Cristo, and as part of we spent several days in El Paso, and as part of our filming there, it turned out to be a real Valentine of the story, a Valentine to El Paso, a gift. In the piece, you saw much of your city's talent on the special we call Corazón de América. We interviewed everyone, among them Adria Gonzalez, Wonder Woman, who was in the Walmarts, who saved all those people at the store. We interviewed the border journalists, Alfredo Corchada and Angela Cocherga. The former mayor, Dean Marco, was in tears as he described that awful day, at the Walmart. We interviewed representatives of the Catholic Church. They climbed with us up there to Mount Cristo Rey. And of course, the real star of the show was indeed Cristo Rey, the mountain and the monument itself, which again, represents the strength of El Paso, the power, the faith, and the love that exists within your beautiful city.
How do you think that El Paso represents Hispanic culture on a month like this one, such an important one?
Well, you look at all the successes. It reminds people that, yeah, we may be brown-skinned, some of us are light-skinned, some of us, Angela Cocherga, the journalist we interviewed, people would think she's all-American. She's not Mexican. Well, she is. She was actually born in Mexico City. I think El Paso represents all of that. It reminds America that you all are American. I mean, the city was there since founded in the late 1500s. I'm from San Antonio. I'm a Tejano. I was born and raised in San Antonio. We all know that Texas was once part of Spain and once part of Mexico. My family has been in Texas for 7 generations, the Quiñoneses. So I think what El Paso represents to the rest of America is, hey, we're telling them, don't see us just because our skin is brown, because we sometimes speak with an accent, or we speak that other beautiful language. Don't see us as immigrants. We're not all. Some of us are more American than you are.
Well, John, thank you so much for your time. I do want to mention also that we can watch those stories. You got one on Nightline that aired Friday, and of course the other one's The Soul of a Nation. You can check that out on Hulu.
Yeah, the Nightline one was about that wonderful the boxer Canelo Alvarez. It's a really I think you guys will love seeing that.
Well, John, thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it.
Gracias, Mauricio. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, when we come back, we'll be speaking now to Chair-elect of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce to talk about El Paso's position when it comes to the advancement of Hispanics, entrepreneurship, and representation. You're watching ABC-7 Extra, where news comes first.
You've got enough to think about maintaining. Good thing the 2021 Volkswagen Tiguan has a lower cost of maintenance than Toyota RAV4. Come into your Volkswagen dealer today and get 0% APR financing for 36 months on the 2021 Tiguan.
When the game is on the line, you want to be the first team on the field. That's why every day is game day at Bravo Cadillac. Catch an amazing value on your next new car or truck. New inventory is rolling in daily, and you'll find the game-winning drive here. Drive away with 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and oil change for life at no extra cost. I'm a veteran, and veterans are always welcome at Bravo Cadillac. Who are we? Bravo!
1, 2, 3.
With a Honda in your garage, every summer adventure leads to another. Get an incredible summer offer on a new Honda, only at the Honda Summer Sales Event.
Ready, set, go.
There's a hot, spicy deal for every moment at McDonald's. Enjoy the flame-roasted Hatch Green Chili taste of the Hatch Green Chili Double Cheeseburger for only $2.50.
Isn't it great to have extra space? The 2021 Volkswagen Atlas and Atlas Cross Sport have more passenger volume than Subaru Ascent and Outback. Come into your Volkswagen dealer today and get 0% APR financing for 36 months on the 2021 Atlas.
That right there is how El Paso celebrated 16 de Septiembre, which is Mexican Independence Day. This was the fiesta at Cleveland Square Park downtown. You can see mariachis, folklorico dancers, and traditional Mexican food. Welcome back to ABC-7 Extra. Our topic tonight is Hispanic Heritage Month. And joining us now is Juan Carlos Diaz, the El Paso Chamber of Commerce's chair-elect. Juan Carlos, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
So I wanted to start off by asking what Hispanic Heritage Month means for you.
Well, Hispanic heritage means a lot to me. I was born in Mexico. I'm very proud of my heritage, and I think El Paso is an incredible place to be Hispanic. This is where the two cultures collide, and they created a beautiful community like El Paso.
Where do you think El Paso stands in comparison to other Latino communities, specifically when it comes to the advancement of Hispanics, entrepreneurship, and representation?
Well, first, El Paso's, the Hispanic Chamber, I've been in the Hispanic Chamber for 7, 8 years now, and we are very proud of our advancements. UTEP, it's a great tool for those advancements because it creates a lot of Hispanics, graduates, engineers, and is one of the top 5 colleges in the nation for research, and we have a student body of 95% minority, predominantly families that are, low income, and we have a lot, like half of the students there are first generation going to college. So it's that's one of the things that this community does very well for the advancement of Hispanics. There are so many opportunities in this town, but that's one of the best ways that advancement comes in this town.
What do you think El Paso offers from a business standpoint compared to other cities? Because I've heard that we're, this hidden gem in the desert that businesses should tap into.
Yes, I think a lot of people know El Paso for certain things that were true in the past. Today, some more dynamic society. We're just recovering from the pandemic, and I think we're getting stronger and stronger by the day. A lot of the businesses should take the opportunity right now, this bounce back of the economy. There are so many opportunities in El Paso. We are a unique city with a strong community on the other side of the border that help us grow. There's a lot of opportunities here for all kinds of businesses. We have become more diverse in the type of business. We are strongly influenced by what the manufacturing is going on in Juarez, and but now we are expanding to other parts. Everything that El Paso has done in the last 10, 15 years is reflecting in the image that this city has. So the opportunities are here. According to the most recent census, about 67,000 total businesses in El Paso exist. 39% are women-owned, 81% are owned by a minority, ethnic minority, and about 5,000 from veterans. So there's a lot of opportunities here. We just started tapping. I see a lot of businesses growing in El Paso and even expanding out of this town. So entrepreneurship is alive. It's very strong in El Paso. It's in our genes as Hispanics, and there's a lot of other communities here that contribute too. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna just chime in there. When we talk about El Paso, you mentioned all the great things, but what do you think is holding us back to getting to that other level of bigger cities that we see, more growth and more entrepreneurship?
Well, I think a lot of the things that are holding us back is the lack of information from a lot of businesses. There's a lot of opportunities and there's a lot of resources that are available to them, and they don't know. There's confusion, there's a lot of misinformation on how to get them. A lot of these are free. The Hispanic Chamber is not just the traditional Chamber of Commerce where you went there to mingle and to network. We have a very strong group of people that work on training and certifying, in a lot of cases, people, like if you want to be a government contractor, all those kinds of things. So a lot of people don't know that these resources exist, especially the smaller kind of business. Last year we saw a lot of changes in the way people do business. Through the Hispanic Chamber, we did a lot of we gave a lot of money away for that we took from federal and government and state grants that allow people to use computers for the first time. Small businesses, they started selling their products and their services online, and this helps a lot of these small businesses survive. So I hope this was a lesson for them, and they keep coming to us. We have a lot of resources. We have Women's Center and the Hispanic Chamber, Small Business Development Center too. So there's a lot of resources that we can use.
Juan Carlos Diaz with the El Paso Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
You're watching ABC-7 Extra. Still ahead here, how is El Paso telling its own story? Check this out. The Lucha Libre exhibit was recently featured at the El Paso History Museum. Right after this break, I'll be joined by Erica Marin, the first native El Pasoan and first Latina to be director of the History Museum. You're watching ABC-7 Extra. Stay with us.
Incomparable design makes it beautiful. State-of-the-art technology makes it brilliant. The Lexus NX, with pedestrian detection, lane departure alert, and Amazon Alexa compatibility, standard. Experience the crossover in its most visionary form.
Get $500 lease cash toward a 2021 NX 300.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
First wash since I bought it.
Still can't believe this thing is yours.
No. Navy Federal Credit Union gave me such an affordable car loan, the rest was easy. I mean, I can't imagine where I'd be without them.
Get me in there!
I'm gonna check the windows. Yeah, good idea.
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
While other dealers are clearing out their 2021s, Oscar Leaser's Hyundai of El Paso has 2022s in stock and ready to rock today. Like 2022 Elantras in stock, 2022 Konas in stock, 2022 Tucson, Santa Fe's, and Palisades in stock and ready to rock. All available with zero down. That's zero down on 2022 models. And interest rates as low as 0.9% APR for 60 months. 2022s are here at Oscar Leaser's Hyundai of El Paso.
Night, Sarah. Drive safe. Bye.
Drive safe.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Mommy.
You guys ready?
Sure you got everything? Drive safe.
We all say it. Chevy can help you do it. The Chevy family of SUVs. Find new peace of mind. Find new roads.
Very well-qualified buyers can get interest-free financing for 72 months on select popular Chevy SUVs when you finance with GM Financial. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Welcome back to ABC-7 Extra. This is a look at the lowrider exhibit that was featured at the El Paso History Museum earlier this summer. The exhibit showcased a collection of lowrider memorabilia ranging from photographs and trophies to lowrider cars on display. The exhibit also featured oral histories from lowrider car club community members in the border region. Again, welcome back, everyone, to ABC-7 Extra. Our topic, of course, Hispanic Heritage Month. And who better to talk about that than Erica Marin? She's the director of the El Paso History Museum. Erica, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
Well, we just saw the lowrider exhibit right there on display, and I wanted to talk to you about the responsibility that you feel that you have when it comes to telling El Paso's story, because it is a big responsibility.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I feel that it's high time that we really showcase what we have here. And those are the untold stories. So part of that is highlighting our popular culture here and our cultural heritage and history. So that takes us to lowriders, that takes us to now Lucha Libre, and that takes us to so many more stories that we're excited to share in the coming months.
And you yourself, Erica, you're a part of history, becoming the History Museum's first director who is an El Pasoan and a Latina. So what does that mean to you?
I mean, I'm so excited, and it's truly an honor, and it's also a responsibility. It's about time that we maybe shake things up a little bit and highlight a little bit more diversity, but also really tell a full story, a more holistic story of borderlands here.
Well, that leads me into my next question. How do you decide what's a true representation of Mexican-American culture versus something that could be construed as maybe an offensive stereotype?
I think an offensive stereotype is that which is flat, which is one note, that which only depicts one perceived idea of a person or a group of people. So here we want to tell a full story, a more nuanced story. So that means it's well-rounded. That means that when it's based on a certain culture, you don't just highlight one aspect, but you highlight everything and how we are interconnected to that culture.
And what's the response been from the community?
Well, we've been fortunate, so we've had a very welcoming and a very successful response. It was really lovely to see how even during our low-riding kind of event at the end of the wrap-up of the show, that we had, I would say, 60% of the people polled that day were first-time visitors to the museum. So that means a lot. That means that we're starting to draw in visitors who would otherwise not have gone to see the museum and to see what it's all about.
When it comes to securing exhibits, we know that in the summer of 2023, actually, the city is set to open the Mexican American Cultural Center. So I'm curious how the museum and the center will collaborate together.
I think it's an opportunity to collaborate across sites. For example, right now what we're doing is we're collaborating with ETMA, our sister museum, El Paso Museum of Art. We just finished a really nice kind of lecture series yesterday. So I think that there's plenty of room for that. It's to perhaps coordinate exhibitions where we all kind of follow a theme. There's so many opportunities.
Erica, is it expensive or difficult to secure these exhibits? Because you have to balance, of course, wanting people to go there, enticing them to go there, but is it difficult to get these, secure these exhibits?
So there's several components to exhibition, right? One is an in-house exhibition. That means that we build it from scratch in our facility. We come up with an idea and we create it, right? So, I mean, there are some costs incurred there as far as traveling exhibitions or exhibitions that come from, say, for example, the Smithsonian Latino Center. Those sometimes can be expensive, but there's also other ways of getting them in. There's an application, they vet sites, and sometimes they're like, okay, you're a site we want to be in, and then it's not so expensive.
So we know that Hispanic Heritage Month itself ends October 15th, but we want to get people to go to the El Paso History Museum. So what can you tell our viewers about what they can expect later on?
So I'd like to share that because we are here at the Borderlands, we talk about so much more than cowboys and settlement. We talk about every day and the people that helped build this city and helped kind of contribute to the culture of this region. So for us, every day is Hispanic heritage, as it's the heritage of so many others.
Well, Erica, thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it. And thank you to all of you at home for watching and joining us for ABC 7 Extra. I'm Mauricio Casillas. I hope you have a great night.